Hi, it's Wayne from howtofish.com.au. Today I'm fishing at Cherry Park in Altona. Beautiful big body of water, not very deep. My target today is big carp. Cherry Lake is located in Altona. It's a fairly big body of water. It's around about 3.5 or 3.7 kilometers walk around the lake itself. It's not deep either. It's only about a meter, a bit over a meter throughout most of its length. Cherry Creek runs into this, so it picks up all of the fish that would come from that creek, and so there's carp, there's eels, there's redfin in there. And over time, some of the redfin have got pretty big, and that was the target today. There's quite a few snags in here, so you have to look out for those, but it's an easy place to fish with plenty of access. So this is a target area, and it was looking like a good day for picking up the odd fish. As I normally do, I was going to be using berley today, so I've got a berley cage on my rod that acts as my sinker, and I was casting to the same spot each time, using a marker on the other side of the lake as my target. And so I would cast to that, hoping to bring in some of those big fish. I was going to use two rods today. On my left, I had a very heavy rock fishing rod. It was 3.6 meters long. I had heavy line on it, and it was there in case I hooked into something really big. And then on the right, I had a quiver tip rod, still a long rod, 3.6 meters, with lighter line, smaller hook, in fact a tiny hook, and that was for hopefully picking up any of the redfin or the smaller fish that might be about. So I felt that I was pretty much set up for any type of fish that would be in here. Well, I was looking at my phone, and this fish has taken my bait. I've got a size 14 hook on. I had a little tiny piece of spicy chicken on it and a size 14 hook, and now it's got me, and it's quite big, and I haven't got heavy line on this. I was using light line, so I had to be a bit dainty in the way I was pulling it in. I couldn't just bully this fish in because I'd break the line. Also, I was using a small hook, so I couldn't pull too hard because the hook would then pull out of the fish's mouth. Not only that, there were some snags in here that I had to maneuver around. So it was all a bit of me walking along the bank to try and get the fish out as best I possibly could, or at least tire it out without bullying too much. The great thing about using relatively light line on your rod is that when you do get into a reasonable size fish, you feel like you've got something much bigger on the line. So I was just moving from side to side. I also tried to keep the fish away from the other line. I didn't have a chance to reel the other rod in, so that line was in the water too, and I was hoping that I wouldn't get them both tangled up. But after a bit of work, I got it in closer, but it still wasn't ready to give up, and that was one of the challenges. I couldn't just drag it in. I had to wait for him to decide to get close to the bank. Getting the fish in was okay in that I could get it close to the bank, but netting it was going to be something else. And at points it just would just stop and hold in the water, and I would just have to stand there until it decided to move a little bit further. I was pretty relieved when I finally got it in the net, because it had taken quite a few minutes to actually get it in there. And when I got it out, I could feel, yep, it was a reasonable size.
Yeah. Well, that took a while to get in. And that's what I caught it on. Tiny little hook. Wow, yeah, that's about 6 kilos or so, I reckon. 5 to 6 kilos. Now the rig that I used to catch that big fish, so I reckon it was about 6 kilos, was this running burley cage. So I used my 60-gram burley cage, cast out to the same spot. I used my bite hard burley, and I got about 10 casts into the same spot. That built up the burley in the area. I did have a lightweight trace on top of that, and then I had, as I said, a tiny size 14 hook on, and I had a little bit of spicy chicken on that. And what that meant was that I had to play it with the drag very, very well. And so it took me quite a while to get it in, because I was on such light line. But it just shows you that even the small hooks like this can catch reasonable sized fish, and as long as you've got the attractants in the area, you can get them in. That was a great fight. Well, look, if you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you're interested in the burley cages, the techniques I've used today, please go to my website, howtofish.com.au. See you next time.